This is a center in the classroom that I'm currently observing. The teacher that I am observing was nice enough to let me use this in my presentation. It is a writing center. I think it's set up exactly the way that I would want a center in my classroom set up. The center that I chose was writing. In this writing center, you can see that I have provided some comfortable chairs for the kids to sit in. It also has a large walkway into the classroom for children in wheelchairs or with other special leg braces. It's easily accessible. It is also easily accessible to take away one of these chairs for a wheelchair student to sit right down at the table. I have provided multicolored pencils and different writing materials for the children to write with so that it makes it a little bit more fun. There's also a word wall provided for children who need a little bit more help. This is where the sentences will be formed. The children will be expected to form a sentence using these cards with words written on them. The first card would have a capital letter and the last card would have some form of punctuation, and the children will be expected to put them together to form a complete sentence. Then they would come over to the table and use this to write down the sentence, and it will get turned into the teacher. The sentences will be made up of words that will be developmentally appropriate for each student. If there is a student that needs a little bit more help with reading, then I would make the sentences with shorter words a little bit easier. If it's a student that is above grade level, I would make the words a little bit harder, so it's more difficult for them. This is something that would be done in a group. As you can see, there are 4 spaces here, but I would probably keep the groups under 3, possibly only 2, so that they have someone else to work with in their group, but it also does not become overwhelming for a student who can't work well in a group setting. I plan to use a digital timer to time the children at their centers. These are a couple of the other centers around the room, including computers. But for my center and for children with disabilities, I plan to give them a little bit more time at this center in order to really grasp the concept of sentence making, including looking at their sight words, understanding how to write neatly on a piece of paper. That includes understanding how to have the paper the right way with the holes on the left side. And that gives them time to complete their sentences on the sentence chart with a group member or possibly 2 other group members. I will form the groups depending on their ability in the classroom. I plan on observing the children in the classroom before forming their groups. I'd like them all to be similar in their reading abilities. If there's a student with disabilities, I might place them with a student that is a little bit above age level in order for them to get a little bit more help. Or it might be more beneficial to put them with someone else that is the same grade level so that they can work together to form the sentences and ultimately learn more during this center time. I think by allowing more time for children with disabilities, it will not make them feel as pressured to get the work done. I also think that by hanging up the students' previous writing work, they have something to look at during their center, to go off of and to see what they've accomplished to use while they're making their sentences now.